Oh, hi, Mark. All right. And so, this is episode 2 of every horror film I have ever seen, where I go through a literal giant list of horror movies that I've seen, 25 films at a time. And I share brief thoughts and, if I remember them, my initial experience with said film. Okay, so we left off on 25, The Messengers. I shared my experiences and thoughts last video. So we are on number 26, which is My Bloody Valentine. My Bloody Valentine is one of the best 80s slasher films, probably. I think, like, inarguably. Like, you ask anyone who enjoys 80s slasher movies, they're going to tell you My Bloody Valentine. I haven't seen my mistake. I don't remember my first time seeing My Bloody Valentine, um, but I can tell you where I got it. I when I was like 16 or 17, I picked up the unrated DVD from a thrift store. I remember that, and I remember it was Love at First Stab. 27 is The Possession. Not the classic film The Possession, not the one that everyone loves. We're talking about The Possession with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Um, it's fine. The fun. I also don't remember my first time watching this movie, I gotta be honest. But the funny thing about this movie is, here's a little lore for those of you who aren't in on the know. The Possession, okay, is about a Dybbuk, and it lives in a box. And it's a cursed box where this Dybbuk lives. This girl buys it from a yard sale, brings it home, creepy stuff starts happening, right? Standard demonic possession stuff, but with a Jewish demon. Okay, so in Jewish lore, I guess Dybbuks are real. I got all of this information from a YouTube video, by the way. Please don't come at me if it is incorrect. But I guess Dybbuks are real. A Dybbuk box is a load of hooey, though. A Dybbuk box doesn't exist. You know where the concept of a Dybbuk box came from? Some dude on like Reddit or something posted an internet horror story, and he was just behaving as if it were real. Like, he bought his mom a Dybbuk box, and the horror story plays out as though those events are real. And that's where the concept of a Dybbuk box comes from, and I find it highly humorous that they made a whole Hollywood movie based on it. Okay, and had the audacity to say that it was based on true events. I'm pretty sure they did anyway. Okay, number 28, Maniac from 1934, Dwayne Esper's Maniac. This movie, once again, I have no idea I don't remember my first experience watching Maniac. I can tell you a little about the movie, a little about my thoughts. I don't like the movie very much. That's pretty much the extent of my thoughts. Though it is kind of like, it's a perverse, weird little movie for 1934 for sure. Number 29 is Underworld. I like Underworld fine. I think I've only seen it once. It was late at night, and I was like half asleep. I will be totally honest. But not like through half the movie. I was just like a little zoned out because I was very tired. Yeah, Underworld, it's fine. I don't remember it very well. I haven't seen any of the sequels yet. Number 30 is The Unborn. I do remember my first experience watching The Unborn. I watched it over at a kid who I was friends with at one point, over at his house. I stopped being friends with that kid shortly thereafter because of, let's just say, disturbing behavior on his part. I really don't want to get into that story. That I feel like that would bring down the whole mood. But yeah, the Unborn is a not a very good movie, but when you watch it in the fourth grade, it's scary. But then again, I watched The Descent like right after The Unborn, I want to say, and I really wasn't that scared of The Descent. So there you go. I'm an idiot, is what I'm trying to say. Storm of the Century is number 31. I do like Storm of the Century. I like it a great deal. I don't remember my first time seeing it, but I like the villain in Storm of the Century, and I really like his introduction. At least I think that's his introduction, where he's like outside the old lady's door singing "I'm a Little Teapot," and then he like goes into the house and he clubs her to death with his cane. That's a good villain introduction. It's creepy. It's good. Um, it is a little long, of course. The movie is long. It's like, I think it's a TV miniseries, one of those Stephen King things. It takes like 3 hours to finish. So keep that in mind if you're in the market for watching something like that. Number 32 is Someone is Watching. I don't remember Someone is Watching. I'll just put it all on the table for you to see, bud. I do not know what Someone is Watching is. Is this I don't remember if this is either a Patton Oswalt movie, like almost home invasion-esque, I think. It's either that movie or it's a TV film from the 90s. And I don't remember which it is. Either way, it obviously wasn't very good. It was very forgettable. Number 33, The Silence of the Lambs. A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with a can of fava beans and a nice Chianti. Also, I always say can. He doesn't say can. I don't know why I think he says a can of fava beans. He just says with fava beans and a nice Chianti. Anyway, The Silence of the Lambs is great. What am I telling you? You already know that. This is actually a movie that I think is kind of an underrated watch for October because of all the, like, it's very, very fall with all the, like, her jogging at the FBI course. That feels, everything there feels like fall. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like fall. And, of course, Anthony Hopkins is, I almost called him Anthony Perkins. Not yet, dude. That's later in the list. That's a different Psycho. Get it? Okay. But, yeah, it... Oh, Jesus. Cerberus! Cerberus! Come here. Oh, Deja, good job. This is Cerberus. He's an asshole. Yeah, you're a jerk, huh? He's pretty cute, but don't let his face fool you. Look at him. He's a menace. He's plotting the world's destruction as we speak. It's true. You think there's not a thought going on behind those floppy ears, that long nose, and those dumb little eyes? There absolutely is. He's on to something bad, bud. Number 34 is The Skeleton Key. The Skeleton Key is an interesting little movie about hoodoo. Not voodoo, hoodoo. Who knows the difference? I don't know. Hoodoo. I certainly don't. Maybe you? Yeah, definitely not me. But essentially, it's about, I believe, a caretaker who is taking care of this old man who has been paralyzed by a hoodoo curse. And that's all I'll say to avoid too many spoilers. 35, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. We're about to get a little repetitive because, as I said in the last one, like, repeats. When you're writing down stuff, you're gonna think of the sequels. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974. I think this movie is like underratedly brilliant. And I know there have been like a few people, I think, recently that I've seen that have given this movie the props it deserves, like Quentin Tarantino, as weird and mean and creepy of a little bugger as he is. He did say that this is like one of the few perfect films that have ever been made. And I would more or less agree with that. I don't know that I'd call it perfect, it's pretty close. If it's not perfect, it's pretty damn close. It's probably still a 10 out of 10 movie. The thing is, this movie feels so raw and real. It is very disturbing, and they do it all without gore. Well, at least without too much gore. There's like a little blood splattering. And I love this movie so much. The dinner table scene where Sally is just like screaming her heart out. To me, that feels as close as you can possibly get to filming what a panic attack feels like inside. Like her like just wide-eyed screaming her head off while the other people are screaming back at her, mocking her, and then the camera is zoomed in on her eye, and you're seeing like the layers of her eye, like all the veins in there. Oh my god, that's good stuff, bud. That is a tasty burger. Which is a weird way to describe that scene, but I'll let it slide. And I do remember, sort of, my first time watching the movie. I don't actually remember my first time watching the film. I remember how I got to watch it, which is that my 14-year-old me's biggest accomplishment in my life was convincing my parents to let me watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because I told them, and this is true, by the way, this is actual true behind the scenes lore. Tobe Hooper intended for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre to be rated PG, but because of the violent subject matter, not content, but the subject matter, the MPAA were basically like, no way, Jose, and they were like, you can send it back to us however you want to send it back to us. It's still going to be rated R, dude. You're selling us a movie called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's an R-rated film. It doesn't matter what content you cut out, what you do to the film. And that's why it's rated R. According to IMDb, and I believe that might have been on the... No, I think that's just an IMDb thing. I did watch the commentary track with Tobe Hooper and Gunnar Hansen on the 2003 special edition DVD years ago, but I don't remember everything from that commentary track. In any case, let's move on to the next one because I spent a lot of time on that one. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I don't love this movie. Pretty sure I watched it on my iPod Touch. I don't love it. I think I've seen it once since. It's just not my bag. It's just not my bag, baby. Yeah, it's I had also heard about this movie. Again, I think I got this from a YouTube video, so take it with a grain of salt. But I had also heard that Hooper had made this one more comedic because he felt that the comedy was missed in the first movie. I think he just forgot to put the comedy in there, to be honest with you, because that is a bleak movie. Number 37, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. I watched this for the first time at my brother's house. Don't tell Mom. But I watched it after he went to bed anyway. I don't think he was even aware that I watched it. But it's fine. Fine undersells it. It's a very, very competent remake, and I like it a lot. I still far prefer the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I think that movie's it's a good 8 out of 10. And then number 38, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. I think that this movie is actually a little overlooked, in my personal opinion. I think that it's a very good prequel, and because it's a prequel, and because I'm pretty sure it came straight to DVD, I think it gets a little shit on, and it gets a little overlooked. I don't think it deserves that. I think it's actually a pretty good damn movie. Number 39 is Texas Chainsaw 2013. Hey, look at that, the inverse of everything I just said. Texas Chainsaw 2013 is a terrible movie, and I hate that I've seen it more than once. It really is a bad movie, and what's really fucked up is I'll watch it again. I'll do it again. Don't think I won't do it again. I'll do it again. It is a bad movie, though. it's sort of entertaining, like the sort of movie that you knock back a few brewskis with the boys while watching and laugh at how terrible it is. Like, God, do your thing, cuz. Do your thing, cuz? What the hell? What were you smoking, bud? I want some. Number 40s is The Strangers. Of course. Of course. We all know The Strangers. The Strangers is an amazing movie. Very scary. I do remember my first time watching The Strangers, actually quite vividly. I was at my brother's house, same brother who I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at his house. Everyone was asleep, surprise, surprise, and I put The Strangers in and I watched it, and it was an unnerving experience for a couple of different reasons. I was trying to keep the volume down on the TV, but I was also trying to hear people talking, which if you've ever watched The Strangers, you know is an exercise in futility, because people talk so quiet in this movie. You won't be able to hear shit until someone's banging on a door, which will, like, you better hope you're not on a fault line, because it will literally cause an earthquake. It is so loud. But yeah, so I was watching it late at night, and so there was a window to my left here, and outside at the house that he was living in at that time, there was like a street light just down the street, an orange street light. And I kept on looking out the window at that orange street light because it matched up with the imagery of the film so well that I just kept on expecting to see a guy with a bag on his head standing there. And that's how effective The Strangers is. Number 41 is Vampires. This should have been on my underrated movies list. I gotta be honest. I mean, eventually I'm gonna make another one of those, but Vampires is underrated as hell. James Woods in that movie is awesome. Hey, be honest with me. When you were stabbing that vampire back there, did you get a little wood? Come on, Padre, you get a little stiffy? Yeah, love Vampires. It's awesome. Number 42 is Vacancy. I used to like Vacancy a lot more than I do now. It's just kind of a generic, almost home invasion-esque thriller, but it's not home invasion because it takes place in a motel. But it gives me like the same vibes as The Strangers, which is why I think I liked it so much at the time. It was scary to teenage me, to now me. It's a fine movie. It's still good. You can still go back and watch Vacancy, and it's a good movie. Number 43, The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. Are we all familiar? K, masterpiece. Moving on. Number 44 is Willard. So I saw the remake with Crispin Glover. I don't know, man. I don't remember anything about Willard. I haven't seen it since probably junior high school. It's a fine movie from what I remember. Again, junior high school. Dude, that was a lot of years ago now. That was over a decade ago, buddy. So I don't know for sure. I know that Crispin Glover's a delightful little deranged weirdo, so I mean that's cool. Crispin Glover plays that well. Number 45, When a Stranger Calls, 2006. Listen, unpopular opinion. Don't burn me at the stake. I kind of prefer this version over the original, okay? And let me tell you why. And I don't remember my first time watching this. But let me tell you why. When a Stranger Calls, 1979, has a fantastic 15-minute opening that's very scary, and it's exactly what the audience came to see, followed by 45 to 50 minutes of following this bummy hobo guy around, and that's it. And we're familiarizing ourselves with the stranger who has called. By the way, he has already called. The movie should have been called When a Stranger Called, because he called. He doesn't calls, he called. You know what I mean? And That's why I'm not a big fan of the 1979 one. Then he finally calls back at the end of the film. Spoiler alert! Who gives a shit? That movie's not very good. I'm just ripping the Band-Aid off right now. When we get to that movie, I'm not gonna be all flowery about it. But When a Stranger Calls 2006 is at the very least, while it does have its own problems, it is what it says it is. All right. Number 46, The Bat. The Bat is a really fun 1950s murder mystery sort of film with Vincent Price. I really like The Bat. Number 47 is The Terror. Once again, I like The Terror, but I don't remember The Terror, like, ever. And I've seen this movie like 4 or 5 times. I don't remember The Terror. I remember there's a big spooky gothic castle. I remember that Boris Karloff plays a baron, and Jack Nicholson plays a Spanish soldier of some kind, and there's a witch who lives out somewhere. That's like all I remember about the movie. And the fact that it does have good atmosphere. So I'm going to venture to say the plot's not very good if I can't remember it after that many watches. But I do really dig the atmosphere. It's a good October watch. Number 48. You know what's not a good horror or October watch or any time of the year watch? The Satanic Rites of Dracula, bud. Bone this movie. Bone this movie. The Satanic Rites of Dracula sucks. This was my first Christopher Lee Dracula movie. Do you understand that? You understand the madness? That the fact that this is my first experience with Christopher Lee's Dracula, the Satanic Rites of Dracula, brother. Fuck that movie. Okay, number 49 is Sinister. It's fine, to be honest. I've never been a huge Sinister guy. Because I like to think I'm a good person. So I will never be a Sinister guy. Oh, puns. How you make us all want to jump into wood chippers. Sinister 2 is number 50. And that's where we're leaving off. Unfortunately, I enjoyed Sinister 2 more than Sinister 1 on first watch. And that's all I remember about it. And that was because I was a stupid teenager with my brain leaking out of my ear like pudding. And I was like, this movie has more jump scares, so it's gooder. And obviously that's not my opinion now. Sinister 1 is vastly superior to Sinister 2. I feel like the whole Sinister thing, though, is pretty overblown. I just don't get it quite as much as other people seem to. Yeah, I don't know. I think there were a lot of better horror movies. There were a lot of worse ones, though, released in that time period. You know what? I should give Sinister its due. Sinister is a good horror movie. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope to see you on the next one, on episode 3, when I talk about 25 more movies to waste more of your time and mine. Later, guys.